What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and another video. Just me today because this is just going to be a quick little tip video, something that we use quite a lot when we're doing videos, especially those B-roll videos that you see. It's a little tip that I think you'll find useful when you're doing videos like that. So the little tip or trick or whatever you want to call it that we use is, in fact, there isn't really a name for it. It's kind of like a reverse zoom kind of focus pull shot. I'll just show you. So here's a shot using the technique that I was just trying to explain to you. We've used it on the Tarion bag here with the logo, and it may just look like I've just held the camera and just slowly moved towards the bag till it came into focus, but what I actually did was done the opposite of that. So I set the camera up pretty close to the bag, manual focused on the logo so that it was perfectly in focus, and then using I think it was 120 frames a second, I then moved back away from the bag, and then when you bring it into Premiere you just reverse the clip and you end up with a zooming in shot where the bag slowly comes into focus until it's perfectly sharp on the logo, which looks pretty cool. Now you might ask, why did I even bother doing that? Why did I do it in reverse and why did I do it in manual focus? And the reason is it's actually very hard to get those shots a lot of the time when you're holding the camera and trying to slowly move in and get something in focus. A lot of the time what will happen is your footage will end up being wobbly because you're trying to keep an eye on the focus as well as moving in slowly. And also, if you're in continuous focus, sometimes the camera will like flicker and it'll not quite get in focus what you want to.
Focus.
Not all the time, but sometimes. And we found that it just is way more reliable doing it with manual focus and reversing the shot. And it's also a lot smoother because if you're holding the camera and just slightly leaning back, it's way easier to keep the camera smooth, and then you end up with a very stable shot that's guaranteed to be in focus at some point throughout that shot because you've manually set the focus, if that makes sense. If you would like the shot to look like you're slowly moving in on something till it becomes in focus, then set your camera up where you would like the shot to end, switch to manual mode, get everything in focus, and then switch to 60 frames or 120 frames a second if you want it in slow-mo, and just simply move back and then reverse the clip in Premiere and you'll get a shot something like we did. You can also use something similar to this technique for those really nice slow-mo pan, like revealing type shots that you see in all the travel videos and lots of B-roll videos too, where the camera is behind something and just pans out slowly to reveal whatever it is in the distance, normally like mountains or a beach or someone walking or something kind of cool. This can be used to create those shots as well. So there's kind of two ways you can do this. The quicker way is to use continuous focus, obviously, so you don't have to bother manually focusing. And the way to do it is whatever your subject is that you would like the shot to slowly reveal, what you do is shoot in reverse. So focus on whatever your subject is. Let's say it's a mountain in the distance and you would like to pan and reveal it past like a tree or something. Focus on the mountain and then slowly move back behind the tree. This way your camera won't get time to focus on the tree in the foreground and will stay focused on the mountain until the whole shot's pretty much covered by the tree. And then again you can play that in reverse and it will be panning out from a tree which isn't in focus to a perfectly focused mountain in the distance. If your camera has really bad autofocus, then it might even struggle to stay focused on the mountain throughout that shot, and what you can do is focus on the mountain, flick your camera into manual and then do that shot in reverse again. Although you can do it either way when you're in manual focus because you don't need to worry about it changing focus. But anyway, but one thing that you need to make sure of when you're doing these type of shots is that your subject isn't something like traffic, or whatever your background is that you want to reveal isn't something like traffic or something that is moving in a certain direction, because if you do the shot in reverse and then play it back in Premiere, you're going to be revealing to traffic which is going the wrong way, if that makes sense, which is going to look kind of strange. So be careful of that. If it's just trees moving side to side, then it doesn't matter. If it's something like clouds, it doesn't really matter either because you don't know, it doesn't really matter what direction the clouds are moving. So yeah, make sure to keep an eye on whatever your subject is when you're doing shots like this. And one final thing that can really make these shots look pretty damn epic is adding a little bit of a speed ramp to part of the clip. So for example, in the camera bag clip that I showed you, we did a little speed ramp at the start, so it kind of whooshes into the shot, then slows down as the logo reveals, and it just keeps the pace of your video and isn't an extremely slow, boring shot. And this is the same with the reveal type shots. You can add a little speed ramp at the start as you're slowly moving past whatever the foreground object is, just so it's not extremely slow and we get to the point of the shot a little bit quicker. So yeah, try a little speed ramp here and there in those shots to make it look a little bit more epic. We use this technique so much in a lot of our videos, and Christina actually has to remind me a lot of the time to do it because I'm so concentrated on getting a shot. I forget that this technique is actually way quicker and normally works better. So Christina will be like, do it in reverse. It'll work the same. And I'm like, yeah, it actually will. I'll do it that way. And it does always look better because you get a more stable shot, like I said. So yeah, hopefully that comes useful to you. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Just wanted to drop that little tip because I feel like a lot of you will find it useful, and whenever I learned about it, I was like, this is way easier and way better. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one, guys. If you found it helpful, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. It really helps us out here because we're a new channel. And
Happy Christmas, everyone!
Happy Christmas, and as we always say, take it easy.
Don't be a stranger.
Check. The grills in my mouth double as a freeze. The grills in my mouth double as a freeze. The grills in my mouth.